Yes, sir.
What's your topic?
I want to talk about Christmas.
Timely.
There is no Christmas without Christ.
What a great transition.
No, it's
What kind of porn do you watch on Christmas?
mostly just Santa.
No.
Going through all those big, beautiful reindeer.
Chimneys getting stuffed.
Ho, ho.
Airtight chimney.
Eating those cookies. You know what I mean? Drinking that milk.
Jingle balls. Drinking that milk.
Drinking that big, beautiful milk.
Straight from the source.
Straight for the
Wow.
Hard to shift gears on that one, Greg. Hard to shift gears. No, I don't know. It's the holidays. What are you guys doing for the holidays?
I'm going to go to Seattle, see Steimer's folks.
That's fun. I like Seattle. What's Seattle like this time of year?
It's like Infamous.
Cool. It's like Infamous. No, it's chilly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it snows there.
Greg, are you excited at all for Christmas? Do you get excited about Christmas?
No, I don't get excited for Christmas.
No? Why not?
Halloween's the best holiday.
It is. Everyone knows that.
Christmas and Thanksgiving just come up with responsibility.
What about
to
The
go see
Nightmare
people.
Before Christmas?
Never saw it.
What?
Yeah.
Greg, fuck you, man.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
100%.
bullshit.
No,
I don't
like-
even
because
know.
you've never seen Roadhouse. So let's pump the brakes on that.
Counterpoint.
Let's pump the brakes on that.
It's true.
Fucking throwing stones at glass houses over there, McGillicuddy. So you're going to Seattle,
Yeah.
and you don't like it because it's too much responsibility.
Christmas in general, not Seattle or anything.
Comes with a lot of
My
responsibilities.
responsibility to
Seattle
Seattle is
known.
minimal.
known as being the city of responsibility.
You go there, they assign you an orphan child to take care of.
God damn it, I don't want
Ji-
this kid.
Jimi
Why did I
Hendrix.
come in here?
Bruce Lee, responsibility.
That's what they were. That's what
Seattle.
They were. No, yeah, Christmas. You feel you gotta reach out to people and talk to people, and then all of a sudden you're not going home, so you got to talk to them about that, or you do go home, and that's stressful enough in its own thing.
There's a social anxiety with Christmas.
The
a
best
little
was
bit.
when when it was just like, man, it's really the best is always it's too expensive to go anywhere, so I'm just gonna sit here for 2 weeks and play video games. That was when Christmas was the best.
Yeah.
So, but then that still comes with the anxiety and the guilt, right? Because like that's what I just experienced.
Because it was just like I literally can't do this.
Interesting.
Don't buy me gifts.
My problem is this. I think my family's all in California, so it's not that hard for me to get to either side, either my wife's family or my family.
Sure.
So it comes with no matter what, I'm disappointing someone. And
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's what I always go into.
That's
is
my
that-
whole
that-
life,
Yeah.
though.
It's just
That's every
But
year,
why do
every
we-
day.
every
why do we
day.
do
Every
it?
moment.
Why do we
Yeah.
do it?
Infinite
Parents and
branches of
families.
decisions that lead to the disappointment of somebody every day.
Yeah.
But do we need
Literally.
those sort of constraints, these tent pole, these landmarks every year to actually be forced to hang out with our
I
family?
mean,
God, no.
I would love to make an argument. No. But the problem is that there's the answer of yes, because this is when families get together and things happen. And the problem is that it's a societal thing that we've built these two holidays up to do this, and now everyone's locked into it. And there's no way to get out of it because the other generation was locked into it too.
But they're too goddamn close. Can we just move Thanksgiving to the summertime?
Yes.
And then
Can
we'll
we
be
get
good?
around? Let's just 4th of July.
But let's move Christmas to where Jesus was actually born, which is probably in the spring. See, this is what
I was
we
going to
need.
say the Fertile Crescent. We all have to go to the Fertile
We're going to
Crescent.
go to the Fertile Crescent.
I'm not going to the Fertile Crescent.
We're going to Nazareth, and we're all going to celebrate Christmas together.
Awesome.
No, Thanksgiving is where it should be. We should have Christmas in like April or May.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd love that.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be
Because it would
easier.
also it would bisect the year nicely, right?
Yep.
So you get a nice springtime visit with your family, you get a nice wintertime visit in with your family, and then you don't have to worry about because the problem is
But you don't have
even
to see
though
'em again.
even though we're gonna go, yes,
Perfect.
because the problem is even though I'm sorry, time's up.
Jesus has come.
She's like, I heard you've been talking shit.
Yo, my boys want to go to the Fertile Crescent? Get in the van.
Get in the van. I want to go to Jesus' van desperately.
Get in the Jesus van.
Does Greg, in your mind, does Jesus' van have an airbrushed picture of Jesus on it?
No,
Oh, no.
it's still got a wizard on the side.
I thought
because he has the coolest van.
I was envisioning the Libyans van from Back to the Future.
Yes,
The little
it just-
Volkswagen
It
bus.
just pulls up and just opens up the door. It's more like a kidnapping when the Jesus van comes for you. Bag over the head. Get in, bitch. We're going to Nazareth.
I watched a documentary called Back in Time. It's about
Yes, it's so good.
So
it's
good.
really good. But for the first time, I watched that and I was like, huh. It is a little strange that this guy's hanging out with this older gentleman. And it is a little weird that he got plutonium from fucking terrorists
Yeah.
to start the film.
Yeah.
That's how the film starts. Where'd you get this plutonium from? Terrorists. All right, cool.
Paid me to make
Never make another mention of that again. The terrorists never come back to kill him. I don't know. I mean, I guess
I mean,
do
they
in the
do.
end.
That's
But
kind of the
but they
whole
don't,
thing.
You know, he keeps going. and he's still there.
What do they call that? The movie device that doesn't really matter.
The MacGuffin.
The MacGuffin, right?
Yeah, that's what the plutonium was. Well, I
Named
guess
after
it's so
Stephen
funny.
McGuffin.
Was it?
No,
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I think that the Thanksgiving and Christmas are so close together because then you do have the 2-family tree thing. So it's like, all right, I'll do one with this family, one with
Yes.
this. You know?
And that especially
Until you miss things.
that's especially a power move when you get married too, or you're in a long-term relationship, because then it's like Thanksgiving with your family,
Yeah.
Christmas with my family,
And then
and
switch
then
switch.
if those two sides don't want to come together, that's on them. We tried. We did our best.
Yeah.
So I ran into this quagmire though this last holiday season. Is I went my wife runs her own business and all of her clients go out of town during Thanksgiving and primarily and Christmas. We decided to go on a vacation during Thanksgiving, which left us with the impossible decision of where do we go for Christmas. And then you are really, it is like the Sophie's choice. You're like, I gotta pick one of these and kill the other one. So we've chosen my mom because my mother, God bless her, is the most intense out of all my family. If I don't see her once a year, I'll never live that down.
Sure.
Ever. She's an Italian mother.
Yeah.
So-
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
there's that. So we're going down there, but I know that my other side of the family is disappointed with it. And you're going to disappoint someone no matter what, and it sucks. It just sucks. So
I don't
Are
like
you
Christmas,
ready
man.
for
Christmas
this?
is dumb.
Thank you.
It's real dumb. And it's Kevin loves it. Kevin is the worst. He wants Christmas trees everywhere.
You could look at Kevin and just know he loves it.
Right.
How many elves hat does he have?
Yeah,
you wearing
he's
these little
one of those
green
festive
hats?
motherfuckers that's like the amount of Christmas trees that I have been tricked into going to literally cut down and transport, and there's fucking pine needles everywhere.
Sap.
You cut
And then
down
having
your
it
own Christmas tree?
because he's a fucking.
That's badass,
No,
dude.
it's not. It's annoying and it's the worst. And then we have to deal with his
I mean, the
mom.
whole
It's
practice
like, there's
is
so many
terrible for
moms
the
involved.
environment, but it's badass that you're doing it.
Whatever. We just go into the Golden
whatever,
Gate
man.
Park, cut one down, and we're all set.
I think I like Christmas the way like kind of the Japanese like Christmas, which is, man, I like it when we all get together and decorate a city. You know what I mean? I like when we decorate a city and it's really like nice looking and everybody just feels a little nicer for a few weeks. I don't like anything else about it.
I like the twinkling lights
Yeah.
and stuff, and like I like it when you turn off the lights in the living room and you have the tree lit up, and like that's cool.
And then
you
the
drink a little
division
eggnog.
happens, and it's decorated for Christmas forever.
Right.
After that.
Right,
Mm.
nailed it.
Best part
Wow.
about the division. I love it. Christmas is whatever it is. I don't really care anymore about it. See, it's one of those things where it just becomes more and more irrelevant as time goes on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like I'm not going anywhere on Christmas. I'm just gonna stay here and just do whatever the fuck it is I do, which is literally almost nothing. Like literally almost nothing. And over Thanksgiving break, I was like, I want to play these games. I didn't do fucking anything at all. You know, so it was great. I haven't barely played a video game in like 2.5 weeks. I don't even know what I've been doing. So I'm just gonna keep that feeling going for
Yeah.
as long as possible.
I think as you get older, it's just kind of nice to have those 3 days as like breathing room. And I think that's where the sort of like, I don't think we really hate like the pressure of having to get together with our families. I think we would like to get together with our families if the pressure of the rest of life wasn't also there and we couldn't, you can see those 3 days as, dude, if I just stayed home during these 3 days, I could have a lost weekend, Colin Moriarty style, and just sitting like, who knows what I did over those 72 hours. I don't know. I went into some sort of coma and I just sat in a vegetative state because I'm so tired of my life all the time. I need
like Colin.
I need those 72 hours to like recharge and then go right back into my life, you know? And then you kind of get into this thing where it's like the logistical planning of the holiday. Because it can't just be like, all right, well, let's all meet at grandma's house and who cares what the fuck happens. It's all like, well, when are you getting in? And when are you getting in? And let's make sure that we're all riding at the same time. And where are we going? Whose house for dinner? And what will you be making? And what will we be watching? And we should all see a movie. What movie does everyone want to see? When are you available? Shut the fuck up. Let's all just sit on the couch silently.
yeah,
Silent night.
But see,
Silently.
that's the crazy part to me is when I go down, I can go down literally any other weekend and that's what I get. I'm like, Mom, I'm coming in at this point. Can you guys pick me up? Otherwise, I'll get a car or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'll come pick you up. And that's it. That's all the plan is going to it. My mom will text me generally the day before and be like, I'm making pizza. And I'm like, well, I'm not eating carbs. She's like, well, I'm making pizza anyway. You're going to fucking eat it. So I eat it.
Is it good pizza?
Oh, fuck
I
yeah.
bet she makes
It's the
really
best
good
pizza on
pizza.
the planet.
All right.
It's like freshly, I mean, she buys this dough. She doesn't make it anymore because she's a little, it's too much time. But she buys this fresh dough, lets it rise. I come in and I roll it out, throw it, put all the stuff on it.
Are you doing this in a wife beater?
I have been. No, I don't wear wife beaters, but there is a couple of pictures of me wearing like a low V-neck like
Yeah, there
white
are.
shirt.
Yeah,
and
there
I
are.
shit you not, there's a couple of them where there's like gravy stains on my.
Is there
just
like
the sauce
is there
stains
like
just on
a
my
coat
chest.
rack next to the door, but instead of like keys and coats, it's just like chains? It's just like gold chains and pinky rings,
it
and you
just
put them on as you
polyester.
come in the door.
How many crucifixes are in this kitchen?
Hey, I'm back.
You gotta cross yourself before everything. Everything.
I do like that every Italian mother is ma, though.
Oh, it's ma.
It's that's the only sort of Italian American affectation I have to my entire speech pattern is my mom is ma.
Yep. That's what we got. Ma.
And not to other people, just to her. My mother is what I say to other people.
Oh yeah.
But when I go, ma!
Oh my God, yeah. And it's funny because I don't know how it is for you guys, but there's some part of me that reverts when I go home.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I'm a 35-year-old man, but when I go home, it takes about a day until I'm a mama's boy again, and I'm screaming for my mom to get me something, And I'm like, it's literally from the fridge in my house where I grew up. My parents still live there. From the fridge to maybe where the couch is, where the big screen TV is, it's like 20 feet. But I shit you not, my mom could be upstairs, and my first instinct is to scream for her to come bring me something, or take a glass or something. I mean, she, I'm a mama's boy. She loves it. I try to pull my weight when I'm down there, but I love going. I love getting there, but it's just the anxiety that everyone I feel like that creeps into you. That you're like, God, there's so much to do. It's like anything else that's kind of worth it. But it is good to see your family. But I do. There's been one time when I went down after the holidays.
Yeah.
So I went up north to see my sister-in-law first, and then flew back down, and that was better because it was just literally just the three of us, and we just hung out, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
Or four of us rather. But I don't know. There is something to be said for my mom's Christmas Eve dinner.
Yeah, that's
though.
do you guys do the fishes?
We do but we just do a gigantic Christmas Eve dinner. Like we have like 10, 15 people over.
We still do the 7 fishes, which is horrifying for me. And then my mom still makes me chicken cutlets. Like I'm still 5 years old, which is awesome. She's like, I got you. Like my little nephews who are like 4 and 6 are like eating like lobster and all this kind of stuff. And my mom's like serving her 31-year-old son chicken cutlets because he won't eat seafood because he's a fucking baby. But yeah, no, because I grew up, my mom's Italian and I grew up in a very Italian household, and it is nice to go back and be fed and eat. I eat a lot. Sausage and peppers, pasta, ziti, big ziti, of course, lasagna, whatever, chicken cutlets, chicken parm, all the works, But then I got there's too many people in my family now.
Yeah.
Like, so I have 3 siblings, my parents, their significant others because they've been divorced forever. Then my uncles and aunts, my cousins, then 6 nieces and nephews. And like the last time I went home, the Giants and the Jets were playing the day after Christmas. And I was like, I'm leaving, and I'm going to the bar to watch this fucking football game.
Right.
And they were like, no, you're not. And I'm like, I'm leaving to watch the Jets game. So people ask me what the last Jets game I missed was. Well, that was the last Jets game I missed because they would not let me fucking watch it.
Well, they wouldn't even let you
and
turn
I
it
was
on?
like, never again am I coming home for Christmas. And lo and behold, I never came home for Christmas.
That was
Wow.
No,
Wow. And
spend some time with your family.
The true meaning of Christmas. Can I ask you guys, what's your Christmas movie? What's your holiday movie?
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Home Alone, man.
100%.
I love Home Alone. It's a good one.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Christmas
That's
Vacation.
a great one.
I mean, it's been forever since I've seen them, but I miss watching like Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and just all the Christmas specials. It's not so much a movie. It's just like the Rugrats Christmas special and Hanukkah
Boy Meets
special.
World, stuff like
and
that.
Boy Meets World,
yeah.
exactly. And all those stupid claymation things. that are
TV
just
in like the
horrifying.
80s and 90s, even like network TV was just like the most random parade of licensed holiday specials for different, like, here's a bunch of toys we want you to buy celebrating Christmas. And I ate all of them up. I ate them with a spoon.
Oh, yeah.
And the next day I was like, I think I want that toy for Christmas. I enjoyed watching them celebrate the holidays together.
I want to give a shout out to Jingle All the Way.
Sure
Why?
you did.
Classic.
Schwarzenegger movie?
Turbo Man?
Turbo Man,
it's
dude.
Turbo time.
Sinbad?
Oh, yeah.
Phil
Man,
Hartman?
Sinbad. The homie.
The only part that I loved about that movie is I can't remember whatever Turbo Man's shitty sidekick is. You remember this thing? He was like I forget. He was like a hamster, like some kind of thing. When all hell breaks loose at the parade, he falls off, and these kids around him start beating the shit out of him. And one kid goes, "We hate you." It's like such an honest moment of them hating this stupid thing.
Did he just reach in real hard and grab his cheek?
He probably did. Reached in and grabbed the cheek.
One thing I'm excited about is after Christmas, I'm going to go to Vegas for a few days.
That's fun.
And I want to just see, I've never been to Las Vegas during the
winter
holiday
time.
season. And Vegas is this weird place to me where, and we've been there many times.
I feel like it's got to be so depressing to be in Vegas for the
I'm
holidays.
Wait, you gonna be there for New Year's or
No, just like in between.
So in
Christmas and-
between the holidays.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I usually don't go outside when I'm in Vegas. I'll just figure out a way to not ever leave. You know,
you actually will go outside now though because it's actually cold.
yeah, it'll be nice.
Yeah.
But
How
as usual,
cold is cold?
Like this. I mean,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not 110 degrees outside with no humidity whatsoever. So it's actually nice. I've gone to Vegas before, like during the January, February months. It's nice.
But as usual, what I'm most excited about to do in Vegas is what I'm always most excited to do about
Smoke
Vegas.
cigarettes
Chain
inside.
smoke. That's all I do. I chain smoke.
You and me both, brother.
Like I don't typically smoke cigarettes. I love cigars, but I'll smoke whatever you put in front of me in Vegas because I just love walking
Put some meat
around.
in front of them.
Like I love I miss
Smoke some fish in Vegas.
Yeah, smoke some fish, smoke some meats, like Greg was talking about on Colin Moriarty. But I'll just buy a pack of cigarettes, whatever. They're like, I'm like, I just like look. You know how they have the little kiosks that you just buy like tobacco, and I just look. I'm like, I don't know anything about cigarettes. I'm like, yeah, I'll just take a pack of Parliaments, I guess, whatever. I don't care. And then I'll just walk around all day and just smoke them.
Which one of these has the most fiberglass? Let me put it in my lungs.
I just love the idea that there's just still a place where I could just smoke cigarettes, inside. Like I was staying at Treasure Island or whatever when we were there for PSX. So that was like 2 times ago. I was in Vegas.
T.I.
And there's
Frat
that
world.
there's that like kind of broke ass Portillo's like hot dog place in there. And just like smoking cigarettes, like waiting for my hot dog to be done or whatever. I'm like, this is fucking rad. There's like these people over here playing cards at the table. I'm like, I just want to smoke inside because it makes me feel like I'm in a different time.
Your Christmas gift to yourself.
Can I tell you, like, at a hotel like that, in a place like Vegas, something that I love to do that's kind of similar, where like, I'm not a huge drinker anymore. Like, I don't drink a lot. Like, I go out and have a few beers now. But if there is a place that has a swim up bar,
Oh dear,
God, that's dangerous.
there's just something amazing about the swim up bar, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where you're just like, I'm going to swim to a beer right now. And I'm just going to float around with this beer in my hand. This is heaven.
Yeah, it's the last time I did that was in Iceland at the Blue Lagoon.
Oh, so good.
And it was
so good.
It was you can't see like 5 feet in front of you because it's so fucking cold, but the water's so warm, so it's just all steam.
Not only that,
And
but
like I just get a beer, and I'm just like hoping I don't run into anyone, like
it's
just
like
drinking my beer.
steam and mountains in the distance, and the water is like sci-fi water that heals your wounds. Like that's seriously like the big deal about the Black Lagoon is there like these microbes in the Black Lagoon in the Blue Lagoon that have like they're not anywhere else. They're just in the water at the Blue Lagoon, and like you go in there and like you can see like you can watch cuts heal faster and stuff like that. It's like the Lazarus Pit.
That's crazy.
It's nuts, and you just come out and you're like, I have had 7 beers and I am healed.
my body was like the only thing I remember about getting out of that water was my body was like a slip and slide when I got out of that water. Like I was like drying myself. You were taking a shower afterwards, and I'm like, what the fuck is all over me? I was like glistening, like I could barely like.
You have like
I grab my hand and
baby
just like
skin.
it like squeezes
It's
off.
the skin of it's the skin of an impenetrable child.
It's like Kevin.
A bulletproof toddler.
It's exactly like Kevin.
With
The sheer volume you can eat after you get out of the Blue Lagoon.
It's terrifying.
a bulletproof
Coated his insides. He's just
Kevin, a
drinks it.
bulletproof child with a prolific eating habit.
Pros and cons. Kevin.
Pros and cons. Amplify smells.
Kevin just doesn't even pay attention to us anymore.
Yeah,
I
he's
love
gonna
it.
fuck.
He's like, do they sound okay in my earphones? All right, I'm fine. Whatever. So Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
It's fun. Okay, I had a funny conversation with my wife the other day where we were ranting and raving about these. We're just basically bitching about our new neighbors because they're young and they like to party. And all that stuff.
Ever since these people have moved in, you had one day, maybe 2, where you're like, yeah, these young girls moved in next door. It's going to be cool. We feel young again. And ever since then, every story has been about them throwing parties. You were all upset that they threw a party and they hadn't unpacked yet.
Oh my god, it was annoying. It was a faux pas. I'm like, you haven't even. I mean, I guess it makes sense if you're gonna throw a party, you haven't unpacked it because you have to clean anyway. But
What did they do recently?
nothing. They're just loud and fun, and like they're just so full of life. And I just realized finally that I'm like, I've often thought of myself as the Chevy Chase was a Clark Griswold character, but I'm not. I'm the Julia Louis-Dreyfus character.
I was gonna say,
I
do you know
am.
you're not the star of your own TV show anymore?
I'm not.
Like that's over. It's their
done. Once
TV
you hit
show
30,
now.
it's done.
You are the angry neighbor of their
Fuck,
cool
man.
TV show. Like
Was
that's
that-
what's going on.
It's true. My wife and I are that couple. It wasn't David Duchovny, was it?
No.
But it was Julie Louis.
He looked.
Yeah.
Yes, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're those two people who are just constantly bitching and like everything has to be clean and perfect, and then the big icicle comes through and like stabs me in the eye, and I'm just like,
that was so
fuck.
good.
In
When
the sitcom
Clark
about-
puts the tree through the window while they're eating sushi, and they're like nice postmodern house.
I like when they come home and like, what caused this? Because the ice melted.
Yeah.
I like how in the 80s and 90s, eating sushi in movies was a universal sign.
Look at
these people are douchebags.
Yuppie douchebags.
I always remember my first real exposure was the Breakfast Club. I think she eats
Molly
Molly
Ringwald.
Ringwald eats sushi for lunch, and I was like, that must have been so. In 1985, when that film was filmed in 84, I guess, but it came out in 85, you'd assume that's pretty ahead of its time at that point.
Pretty much, I would imagine. Also very dangerous. Sushi doesn't keep overnight, so they must have had to either make that fresh or she's risking a really
That's
bad
you.
tummy ache.
That's you. You're the sushi eater now.
I love sushi.
You love
You're the Molly
Ringwald.
Ringwald.
Yeah, I do love Molly Ringwald. Oh my god, I had a huge crush on her back in the day.
Sure.
Still do.
Who didn't?
Still do. Because she was talented and funny
Sure.
and cute as hell. The bad haircut though, always the bad haircut.
At the time, it seemed like a fine haircut.
A lot of
No,
haircuts. were
even
happening
at
in
that
the
time,
80s.
you looked at that haircut and you were like, that is.
She can do better.
is a
Molly,
bad
you can do
haircut.
better than that.
She could have, but who am I? She's Molly Ringwald.
You don't have the cascading ringlets of an Elizabeth Shue. Get it together.
Don't even bring up Elizabeth Shue unless you want me to get lost in your eyes right now because I fucking loved her. Although that was hilarious, like that whole
Maybe
part
that was my
back in
goal
time
from
where she's like,
get-go. Just to
Was
have
it?
you lost in my eyes.
No, I'm
Maybe
already
that's
there,
why I
buddy.
came here today.
I'm already there. Although it is sacrilege, I do feel that the original girlfriend in Back to the Future got the shaft on that one. Because I
Yeah.
actually liked her a lot.
Well, you know
you
what
know
her
what the-
story was, right? Her mom got sick, so she
Yeah, she
quit
decided
acting.
to stop. Yeah.
Do you know what the harshest
Unfortunate.
thing about that was? I think the harshest thing about that, probably from her perspective, is no one even noticed.
Right.
90% of the people you ask,
We
like,
noticed that horrible wig Elizabeth Shue was wearing the entire second and third movie.
but nobody knew why. They're just like, oh yeah, Elizabeth Shue. I wonder why she was wearing that wig in the second one. She didn't have it in the first one. Nobody remembers this other woman as being part of Back to the Future at all.
To be fair, it was a pretty big upgrade because she was a pretty big star back then.
Yeah.
I think she was like either had done or was on her way to doing Adventures in Babysitting, which made her put her on the map.
But she had done it.
She had
Remember,
done it.
there was lots of years between 1 and 2.
But imagine
That's a good
being
point.
retconned out of your own life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I thought that part was fascinating. Have you seen this? Back in Time?
No.
It's a documentary. They just talk a little bit about
Where can I get? Is
it's
it
on Netflix. Yeah.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fan made documentary, but they interviewed all the people that were major players like Zemeckis and
Cool.
Two
and some other
people retconned out of their own careers in that movie. Eric Stoltz and the original girlfriend.
and the dad. And
Well, he
what's
left of his
name?
own accord.
Oh, that's
Crispin
true.
Glover,
Crispin
but then
Glover, 'cause
they
he's weird.
kept using him against his. I'll never forget the Blu-rays I have out there have a different behind the scenes documentary that actually goes into the whole thing with Crispin Glover when they were like, blah, and he was never in 2 or 3, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, and then they go through the whole thing of like, no, they cast this look-alike, sound-alike, and hung him upside down so no one would be able to tell, and
got-
then he sued the shit out of them and
yep.
changed the rights for SAG. You're like,
Yeah.
holy fuck.
Isn't that crazy? But yeah, that whole thing was fascinating. I just love watching that, especially
Yeah.
since that is our youth. That's my childhood of like, that's how all this stuff happened.
Right,
It was cool.
right.
And just seeing the old Stoltz footage,
Yeah.
you're like, fuck.
I want them to
that is
resolve
too
that. They talk about that
distinctively
once in a while that
different.
they'll do it
The
eventually.
creepiest thing in the world is the scene of Marty and Lorraine on Lorraine's bed in the beginning of the first Back to the Calvin Klein scene. When you watch that scene with Eric Stoltz,
weird.
there is a weird sexual tension. Like Marty is feeling it too. Like it's strange as hell. And you're like, of course they fired you, dude. You read this wrong.
You wanted to fuck your mom.
You wanted to fuck your mom. You were just like, what if we made this Oedipus, though? Like, what if we just went way Oedipal with this movie? No!
It's got to be hard though, because it's not Stoltz's fault. That was Eric Stoltz. Like he was that character in the '80s. Like
Sure.
he was not really known for his comedic genius. So that was just poor casting. To
Yeah.
begin with.
How much did they film with him before
A
they were
lot.
like
Almost
before they were
all
like
of
a
it.
lot? And it
so
was
the
a
whole
big
so they could
fucking
probably
deal.
they could probably edit together the movie.
They'll never do it.
But if they would release all the footage, a fan could like theoretically just replace all of the footage with Michael J.
It
Fox.
don't know
depends
if they
on how
filmed
much
that
of
much
it
of it.
survived
Yeah.
to make it onto a video format, because I can't imagine like the actual cut dailies of those films still exist anymore. I think the reason
I'm
we've
sure
only
they still have the
seen.
negative somewhere though.
Do you think so?
I guarantee. Yeah, and then they
hope
archive
so.
it all.
Wow.
They never did an answer print for it, but I guarantee they probably have the negative, and they probably have some dailies around. I mean, if you see the footage in scenes,
Like
Yeah,
I've definitely seen some of the footage, but I don't know. I didn't know like. So they like filmed the whole thing, and then the studio was
it wasn't
like,
the whole thing.
It was a lot. I want to say it was like a month or
They did.
It was like 20 days of shooting. or
Yeah,
something
they did
crazy
like
that.
I want to say that somebody said they did like 75 to 80% of Marty's shots.
and then they were like, ah, no.
which is
Yeah.
the whole movie. Like
Yeah.
he's in almost every shot. Of
That's
the
really
film, so.
that's really fascinating.
Which means Christopher Lloyd had to do everything like twice.
Yeah,
I wonder if they all had to
Other
get
than
paid again and
singles.
stuff
So
like
yeah.
that.
Oh no, I mean you have to. You get paid if you're an actor. You get paid based on your time that you're there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a day rate for the most part.
What this could be another topic for another day, but it's just
You can watch the documentary, then we can all talk about it.
Yeah,
We should. It's fucking fascinating.
yeah, I just don't understand like
But it was the right call.
Yeah, it was,
That's
but
the
it must have been
problem.
such a daring call because they
They
probably had
talk
to go
about it. They talk about the whole thing of like them.
It paid off,
going
obviously.
through it. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
Zemeckis comes off as not the most warm of human beings. Like, so I don't, but you can see that was like he's very political when he talked about it, but he was like, it was a hard call.
Yeah.
And you see behind his eyes, you're like, fuck, that must have been like, I can't imagine how many sleepless nights, because you're watching the film and you're like, this isn't working.
Yeah.
And then you come to the conclusion that it's not the score, which could be easily changed, the editing, which can, for all intents and purposes, be easily, all these things are hard, but they can be relatively changed
To
pretty
go
quickly.
to a studio, hat in hand, and be like, I know I've shot 75% of this. I need to shoot it all over again.
Yeah.
All over again.
And then telling your actors that who are family at that point, because you've got your leads who are like you gel when you're on a shoot like that, saying sorry, this guy that's been next to you for like the 20 some odd days has got to go, and we're gonna bring in Michael J. Fox. I mean, I'm sure they were like, oh well, Michael J. Fox is a huge star, and that's awesome. But even that story was hilarious because the reason they wanted him originally, but he couldn't get out of Family
Ties.
Ties,
yeah.
and so he had to shoot the movie at night. So he literally was like I would wrap Family Ties, and a Teamster would come pick me up and take me to the set, and then I would shoot all night, and then sleep for like 3 or 4 hours or whatever, and then go back to Family Ties. It's like I had no idea where I was at a certain point. But it's an iconic role for him, and
Wow.
you can't imagine anyone being
Yeah, it's crazy.
being in that position. You know.
So that is Christmas.
Christmas.
Yay.
Sorry, I'm.